Sunny, can we start with the presentation?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Sunny. Thank you so much. We can start with the presentation.
So, good afternoon, guys. It's basically, we are presenting a fashion and design school to you, an opportunity to basically open a fashion and a design institution. I would not call it as a college or a university, institution in your city, across India. London School of Trends has been accredited by the British Accreditation Council since 2012. We've been, founded in London and with a fair enough experience within the industry. We've moduled various top names who are doing great in the industry today. LST has been, associated with various industry experts, in various different associations, and our ideology is basically, okay, academics is one side of it, but practicality in the nature of business that we are in, like fashion design, beauty or interior design, practicality matters a lot. तो इसलिए हमने इसका एक बड़ा ही अच्छा blend रखा हुआ है, where we have इंडस्ट्री के लोग भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, और आपका academic तो obviously है ही. And the best part is that we are, our qualifications are recognized globally with various uh, uh, the associations and accreditations that we have today. और को पता ही होगा कि India is now working towards a credit based education policy जो अभी इस साल February announce हुई थी. So we are already, we have been doing credit based education for last more than 1 year, and I think that's where now our credit based courses will be an edge for anybody who is taking our course today, wants to travel abroad later on. So they get that edge कि अच्छा वो 1 साल या 2 साल या 3 साल का जो भी कोर्स किया है उसका उनको वो क्रेडिट ग्लोबली कहीं पे भी यूज कर सकते हैं. So we'll go into that detail as we move along. So just so you are aware about our popularity, we've been associated with London Fashion Week. Celebrities uh, have been associated with us. Publications, मतलब हमारे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं इंडिया से या जैसे भी एसोसिएशंस के साथ आए हैं हमारे have been published in various fashion magazines, Vogue, Elle, Cosmopolitan, Harper's Bazaar. So you name the publication that we haven't been published in, like almost every publication has published about us and our good work that we've done for our students. Jinko, obviously we've been like here you can see Rocky S, one of the popular designers, all these fashion influencers, bloggers of today's day and age, and everybody. So the fraternity, Indian fashion fraternity, associates with us very well, because we are here at London Fashion Week. Obviously हम एक उनके लिए and हमारे लिए दोनों के लिए एक मीटिंग पॉइंट होता है जहाँ पे the influencers want to be part of it, students want to be part of it. So we've created a good aura around this entire situation. Now celebrities and everybody have come on board for various projects that we do together for the students, like working backstage, providing internships and so on. So the range of courses that we currently plan to offer are, full time में fashion design है, interior design है, fashion foundation, fashion specialization है, short courses में fashion styling, interior styling, luxury brand management, hair and makeup artistry, which is a very big area nowadays, fashion blogging, fashion photography, shoe and accessory design, and so on. So the courses that durations जो इंडिया में ऑफर करने हैं वो starting from 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, short courses, various titles as I've said, and then we will have foundation programs, undergraduate programs, and specialization programs. और जो major जो और एक program जो हम लेके आ रहे हैं वो है portfolio preparation for Indian market. Now there's about 8,000 students who go out of India every year to study fashion and design subjects. इंटीरियर डिजाइन हो गया, फैशन डिजाइन हो गया, बट उन स्टूडेंट्स के पास आज कोई भी ऐसा एक डेडिकेटेड इंस्टीट्यूशन नहीं है. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ कोचिंग सेंटर्स, बट देयर इज नो डेडिकेटेड इंस्टीट्यूशन टू हेल्प देम प्रिपेयर देयर पोर्टफोलियो. And with our excellent faculty from London who actually approve the portfolios, हमने उनके साथ मिलकर एक पोर्टफोलियो प्रिपरेशन बनाया जो उनको हेल्प करता है एडमिशन लेने में किसी और यूनिवर्सिटी में या कहीं पे भी. एज दे आज आपको पता है कनाडा, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूके, everywhere students are flying out, and 8,000 to 10,000 students go out of India everywhere just for the design category, fashion design or interior design. So this is again another exciting part of our portfolio of courses that we would be having. Obviously, our team of UK tutors is excellent. Like sare tutors jo bhi hain are part of University of Arts London, and a broader aspect. So they bring in a lot of practical and the in thing jo hai. और वो ऑब्वियसली एज अ फ्रेंचाइज एज समवन साइंस अप तो वो पास ऑन होती है पार्ट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग एंड being able to create an environment which is different that is currently there. क्रेडिट बेस्ड लर्निंग जो मैं अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बता रहा था कि हमारे कोर्सेज आर क्रेडिट बेस्ड. सो चाहे वो शॉर्ट कोर्स होगा या लॉन्ग टर्म होगा, अंडर ग्रेजुएट होगा या स्पेशलाइजेशन होगा, दे विल बी ऑल क्रेडिट बेस्ड. सो स्टूडेंट अगर कोई हमारे यहाँ से पढ़ता है, आगे जाता है, तो ऑब्वियसली दे बी पार्ट ऑफ इट. तीसरा एक बड़ा एक्साइटिंग है अगेन टू डू विद द न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी is our teenage program. There is, as they've said, that in India, after class 8th, they will give students an opportunity to choose a vocational area. तो हमारा कोर्सेज और ये सारा वोकेशनल में आता है. तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल दीज थिंग्स देयर इज अ ह्यूज, आपको पता ही है हर शहर में स्कूल्स और स्कूल्स के नंबर्स क्या होते हैं व्हेन यू लुक एट क्लास 8, 9, 10. तो उसमें there is a great potential to associate with your local schools to run these vocational programs with an international certificate. Those schools are also obviously overexcited to be associated with your campus that we will set up for you. तो एडिशनल रेवेन्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज यही है सारी कि एक तो ऑब्वियसली हमारे ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज आर वेरी पॉपुलर. स्कूल affiliation programs hai, study abroad recruitment hai, which I was talking to you about, and this I've shared that our positioning in the market. Like आपने सबने लंदन स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स का नाम सुना ही होगा, जहाँ पे साल के 6,000 स्टूडेंट आते हैं बिजनेस पढ़ने के लिए फॉर शॉर्ट कोर्सेज, जो ये 3 weeks के या 4 weeks के प्रोग्राम होते हैं. So we have been featured alongside them for fashion design and interior design category, which we feel really proud of. That LSE जो आज 100 साल पुराना एक लंदन का ये है institution, we are sitting alongside them. So we have achieved that position over a few decades, and which we feel proud of. So जैसे बता रहा था मैं, ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज हैं, कैंपस बेस्ड लर्निंग है, एंड हमारे जो टाइप्स है वी आर लाइक एसोसिएटेड विद ऑल 4 फैशन कैपिटल्स, फैशन वीक्स, जहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं. ऑब्वियसली हैव बीन पार्ट ऑफ द fashion shows that happen and the design contests that happen. So LST as associations, like we are associated with Harper's Bazaar Fashion Forward, which is an event that happens. So we are part of Fashion Forward as an official knowledge partner to them. Then for hair and makeup, Pixie Beauty, there's a brand that we are associated with, which provides a lot of beauty products, and which every, I'm sure, makeup user knows about Pixie. So Pixie has been associated with us for makeup and artistry. Then Decorex is obviously exhibition that happens. It's one of the largest exhibitions that happens in Europe for interior design. So we are again have been associated with them for a long time now. Then we run a very interesting event at London Fashion Week called India Day, which is in association with the Indian High Commission in London. जहाँ पे last, before we all went into a lockdown and everything, we did a very major event in February. London Fashion Week was where we showcased all different saris of India at the catwalk. So this is again which shows the High Commission has written to us that they have been associated with us since 2017, जहाँ पे we've represented India as a country at London Fashion Week at the mainstream fashion event. And obviously Manish Malhotra has been associated with us when we launched a few years ago with when we were in collaboration. So we did create a few courses. Manish Malhotra, aapko pata hi hai, is a second name for fashion in India. So that is he's been associated with us for a while. We've since we're all into ये सारा education system जो disrupt हुआ February में, so we've been doing a lot of live sessions on various of our portals. So our popularity has been great amongst Indian students. We've had 20,000 students so far who have attended our short courses. Said we have about 75,000 online students currently taking our courses across India. Then we did, when things were normal, travel was okay. We used to host workshops in India in different cities where a team from UK used to fly and obviously conduct. And all of these are, I'm just showing it to you over here. So all of these are possibilities when we open up in a city, anywhere in India जहाँ पे international team आके workshops ले रही है, because हमारे इस पूरे प्रपोजिशन में यही एक बहुत बड़ा चाम है of creating something different, and which our ability to do so and what we have done so far reflects our popularity. So we run such webinars where top influencers, stylists, and just shows you the kind of numbers that we have. We gain attraction like 1700, 1800 students taking looking at our webinars and being part of it. So that just shows that it is something that we create which is interesting and engaging for the students. Again, when we look at our business model that we are proposing here, is very much clear that we will obviously be looking at exclusive territories, setting up your campus, ongoing trainings, and benefit from all the good things that we've done so far. And then next the steps are really on to Franchiseindia with the compliance and how we take things forward. So I'll take on any questions.
Sure. Can we talk about the model that we want to take for the Indian market? What are the formats, the investment? Maybe we can start with that and explain that to our audience who are present before we take questions from them.
Sure. So the format that we're looking at is setting up institutions across the country, setting up starting from a 3,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet to start with. But obviously, the premises that one should look at should be scalable, because within a year or 2 years time they would require more space as the number of student grows. So someone, while considering this opportunity, should consider a area which can be scalable, a property that is scalable. And financially, we have a certain franchise fees that is be payable upfront. Then obviously that comes with all the training and initial setup that will be provided from us. So right from the website, online courses, and everything that is already running. So it's like someone who signs up a territory before even their campus is starting, they can start generating revenue through the online courses.
So, Sunny, we need to explain how the financial model in detail. What format are we looking at? What all will that format contain?
I
In
think
terms of the
there is
offering. So, is there a name to the format? Do we call maybe a 5,000 format something? Do we call a 30,000 format something? And what is the typical investment breakup that goes in these two formats? And mainly, I would like to also understand the offering. So, these are three things. If we can start with that, and if we have something that we can showcase to our investors and audience, I feel that would really help.
So here, there's an upfront franchise fee of INR 10 lakh for LST to start with. Then the infrastructure cost would be in the range of 50 lakhs, and that one can consider, because our campuses will not be just a classroom with a table and chair. We want a very vibrant and a different look and feel to the classrooms, with a lot of equipment that comes on board. So one would suggest 50 lakhs towards that. Then we suggest they keep a operating capital for first 2-3 months, which includes marketing and other activities that they'll be running around. So roughly one crore plus is the investment. And we have Archana should have a document which details out the entire breakdown of the investment, how an investor would be investing in phases.
Yeah, so Sunny, I'll share my screen, but it is only possible when you remove your screen. If you
Okay.
can just, yeah, I'll the file is ready. I'll just, thank you so much. Thank you. So Sunny, I've shared the file. You can refer this file.
So as we scroll down, this is the infrastructure cost and the fixed assets. So if you look at it, basic things that will be required. And as we scroll down further, the revenue opportunity against it. Can we scroll down, please? So when you look at against the investment of 1 crore plus, this is the tentative enrollment structure that one can consider for so if you look at year one, if they start recruiting for short courses, online courses, and again fees depends on the city really which someone opens. So obviously Bombay की fees अलग होगी और एक छोटे दूसरे B town C town की fees अलग होगी. So this all depends, numbers again depend very much on the location, and so goes the expenses. So rentals will be accordingly. So someone paying a rental in a, you know, in a, say in a B town will not be as high as it would be in Delhi or Mumbai. And as you move along, Ismay, obviously, when the operations move to year 2, year 3, they start, the revenue start rolling over. So year 1 ka student year 2 mein jayega, year 2 ka you'll obviously recruit new students, and year 1 student will roll over to year 2, and so goes for year 3. So short courses are typically alongside, and this is a tentative projection, and every projection will change from location to location.
So what we can do is, I think, thanks, Sunny, we will go back to the CAPEX side. Let's go into and detail CAPEX because this is very important. Can you go up this slide, please, again?
Sure, sure.
So friends, this is a great opportunity. As you see, that's as obviously the brand equity and the legacy they hold is phenomenal. They also have a lot of good experience in Indian market. India is one of the largest markets for fashion and design, and that's where with a aspirational brand like this can play a very important role. It is also a great opportunity for tier 2 and tier 3 cities, while the A would continue to be the biggest feeder. And so what we do is, before we really go on to Q&A box, Q&A questions, I think we need to really understand the financial little more in detail. So please, Archana, if you can open up the sheet, please. So, and Sunny, you can really, correct me wherever I'm going wrong.
Yeah.
The franchise fees component is 20 lakh rupees, which is given you for license and the exclusivity you get for the region. At a letter of intent, when you sign, you put up a 10 lakh rupee deposit. And when you sign the full agreement, you put another 10 lakh rupees. Your interior layout, which you put the interiors for the center, is about 30 odd lakh rupees, which would be about 3,000 square feet place. 3,000 because you need a large place because the different kind of programs you run, and to accommodate large number of students, you need to have a good campus. I will also encourage you to, because there are a lot of campuses now available. A lot of good campuses are available, which we can really take out and convert. So it will save your CAPEX. So today I can tell you, every city, if you go out and say, I want a 3,000 square feet of an educational facility available, you will have a lot of facility which would have air conditioning, rooms, classrooms, everything been done. You can just wrap up the facility a little bit. So it will save your CAPEX a big time. But if you are doing from a shell location, absolutely nothing available there, and it's a warm shell, and you want to build up from there, then the cost would be about 30 lakh rupees. But this is where you can do a lot of saving, which we can do.
And potentially the campus size that we suggest should be scalable. So any property that when you look at, should be scalable, because as soon as you hit year 2 and year 3, you need more space. You need more space as your numbers grow to accommodate. So our tentative is that, okay, year 3, a campus should at least hold 500 students. To hold 500 students, you need at least 7 to 8,000 square feet, even if you run them in batches. So ideally, a premises which is top floor has a potential to extend with a terrace and so on.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of educational facilities are like that, which can be extendable. So if you are part of that, but I will encourage people to look at running campus infrastructure available, so which can significantly reduce your cost. And today is a time post this COVID, there is a lot of good facilities available in the market. So about 61 lakh rupees gets into your capex, which you can significantly reduce and only bring it to your improvement of the center, which needs to be done. Then there is a launch expenses. Launch is normally a good fashion show, great kind of a PR, maybe a celebrity to come in, and they have a very good relationship with the top celebrities to really come on and open up that center. That puts another 10 odd lakh rupees. Go down, please. Which is a critical spend, because that would really launch you in a proper. So your total cost of one time setting up the business is about 96 lakhs. So imagine out of 96, 60 is about your capex, which you can reduce. If you intelligently design that, this you can really reduce it to maybe half of it or even less than that. So fundamentally, you can do, if you have a running campus, when you do only the branding and structure design, then you can achieve this in about 50-55 lakh rupees kind of a structure. But if you have to do ground up, absolutely everything, then it becomes about 96 lakhs. And as Sunny said, you have to be conscious that the business would need to expand, and you would need to do that. And you don't want to shift the campus because now the equity has been built around that. So you have to have a facility around it where you can easily expand that business. So a lot of running infrastructure, education infrastructure is available in the market, which you can also bring in. Next, go down. So when you start the year one projection, and Sunny, you can correct me wherever you want to do that.
Yeah.
You start with estimated about 200 students. That's the benchmark you need to do that. And at a 200 student level, your center fee per student is about 1,25,000. And you have also a center fee per student, which is one-time center fee. So your collection for the year one becomes 3.5 crores as a projected. And Sunny, my first question is, what is the recruitment cycle? Is it a long cycle or a particular months which you have a larger recruitment
when
cycle?
you look at short courses, one can recruit 5 times a month. Every week you can start a new batch. When you look at long-term courses, usually there are, the standard Indian recruitment cycle is you after June 12th standard results, you start recruiting then. But there are late admissions. People like to join a course in January, February. So one can, for long-term courses, can have 2-3 intakes. And for short courses, depending on the location and the intake, one can consider having, at least one intake every month.
Very helpful. So it's pretty much a year-round business when short-term courses, and short-term courses are big in demand because they're skill-based courses, which are job-oriented courses, and there is a huge demand available for that. And for a long-term courses, you can do 2 or 3 cycles, as you said, once after the 12th admissions results are there. And then if people are applying for other tests, they don't qualify, then they come for a second cycle and so on and so forth. So your first year billing really comes out to be almost about 3.5 crores. Then you will work on about 20%, 25 to 30% growth. Move to another year, which would get on to about 5.25 crores, and the third year would hit about 7.5 crores, which is your kind of an optimum performance. So
Again,
any center
fees, fees matters. Again, this is something that will be mutually agreed with the location that one signs up for. So the fees will matter with the location that one signs up for, because we cannot charge fees that we would charge in Mumbai or Delhi in Raipur or in a B town. So fees will have to be considered and charged accordingly. See, we don't हमारा जो पूरा equation है, we don't want to, we are a premium brand, but we also want to come across at a reasonable price, so it is approachable to everybody. When you talk about fees, when for a student, so we don't want to be if I talk in fashion language, कि जैसे कुछ लोग होते हैं जो लुई विटॉन के स्टोर में जाते ही नहीं है, considering that बहुत महंगा है. So we are an international institution. So giving you an example of an international institution in India, there's something called Instituto Morricone, which is based in Bombay. their annual fees is 10 lakh rupees. And the same fees they charge in their Milan or London campus. So why would a student pay the same amount to study in Mumbai, rather pay the same amount and study in London or Milan?
Absolutely. And there is another school which is in Bombay which charges 20 plus lakh rupee program, which is a school based out of New York, which has opened there. And then there was a school which Franchiseindia brought in, which is a French school in Delhi. Again, they have a very high fee. So fundamentally, I agree with Sunny. There are two big opportunities which are unfolding in India, especially on design and structure, because they earlier kids would go to a bigger city and study there. With now COVID and everything, they want to really take their education at least post 12th in their own market. So the opportunity tier 2 has certainly been unlocked. If you open up a school in Surat, you will get a phenomenal amount of students, because these same students were going into Bombay or Delhi to study, but now they don't want to do that. Looking at their, they come from textile background, their families are into fashion, they have a lot of other things, so they have to get into that structure. So it might be a great opportunity for tier 2 and tier 3. And that's where you can able to start this business model in that pricing. Your revenue projections would reach from, say, what I've called from starting a humble 3.5 crore to about 7.5 crore, as your student count would grow from 200 to 300 and 300 to upwards. And that's where you would hit your optimum level. And 5 year is a time where you establish yourself in the city. You will hit your, what I call the peak performance level. And the peak performance level would be around 500 or 400 to 500 student base level. So that's where the opportunity really is. Anything you want to add, Sunny, on the financial before we go into other questions?
I think the financials are very clearly displayed, and where we've clearly defined every category and left nothing unfolded. Obviously, as I've been reiterating myself, with location, numbers will change when you look at revenue and investment both, because rental compared to A towns, B towns will have a better rental than if you compare it with the A town. So obviously there is scope depending on location of your investment, how investment and revenue in turn.
Sure. So, friends, so there are 4 things which are very important whenever you start an educational business. I call the 4 quadrants. One quadrant is the campus. We talked about the campus, how big you need and what kind of facilities and capability you need. Second is the brand and the certification, which is very strong. It has a great aspiration as a brand and also legacy, which needs to be done. Third is certification, what you get from the program. It is also the curriculum and the certification, which is also very strong and already proven and already running in India very successfully. And fourth is what I call the eventually the what students would get jobs for. So let me start with the question. Sunny, it's a relatively not so high fee, but what is the career opportunity? Because that's very important for us to really understand what is a career opportunity, what kind of jobs you get, and what kind of future career we can find out.
See, today if we go subject by subject, so if someone is looking at fashion design, so fashion design today is not only restricted that okay, one learns fashion design and opens a boutique and starts selling their lehengas. It's not restricted there anymore. So today within India there's organized retail, so you can see every fashion brand, high street brand, luxury brand, everybody is opening up their stores, their merchandising offices in India. As you're based in Delhi, there is, for last 20-25 years, there's been tremendous exports for textiles that happen from Delhi. So the fashion industry is not only restricted today with the fashion designing and that's it, you open up a boutique. Fashion blogging is a great area today, influencer marketing. There's even if you talk about today, there was no film celebrity at Cannes Festival, but there were 2 fashion influencers from India who were at Cannes Film Festival. So it is not restricted to opening up just a boutique. Merchandising, there's different. And again, when we talk about short courses, so now if you look at it, hair and makeup, it's such a big area today. Every girl wants to know hair and makeup, not for opening being a makeup artist, but for themselves. So it is a dual kind of a thing. And when you look at interior design, so again, interior design today, again, this work from home culture, and everybody wants to make their house look better. So housewives don't only might have time to do an interior design course, just so that they can create a better environment for themselves at home. And so it is a dual kind of a thing. So not necessarily everybody who does this course or who does this different three categories that we have would be for them to do something in the industry, but it is something that they might use it for their own personal benefit, like fashion styling. They might just use it for their own personal grooming kind of activity. And where, to be honest, you look at our audience, our target market is 12 to 18 years to 24 years, right? 85 to 90% of female. Now majority of these girls who would do a course, I wouldn't say 100% of them get married soon after they do a course, but it is just an excuse to delay their wedding, to get into a fashion education kind of an setting. So that this is what we've seen, this is something that we are telling out of the practical. This year, ek saal do saal ke liye shadi tal jayegi, they might take a course, then uske beech mein hum London bhi घुमाते हैं, fashion week bhi कराते हैं. So these are all revenue opportunities for the investor, जहाँ पे a student is recruited. So then it is not only campus, then वो आगे भी जो भी कर रहा है वो student from that campus is a revenue to the center.
Absolutely. And also there are a lot of avenues for them to start their own portfolio. They also do a fashion show. They also promote their label. And just to give you, there is both opportunities when you do a course through the school. It's an entrepreneurial opportunities, which means that you can really take up your design, your own profession in interior design or in fashion. And you can also take opportunities in industry. Industry is becoming large enough. Overall fashion industry employs about 40 million people, but that's across the industry. But essentially, if you really look at fashion design, merchandisers, this is a very, very large growth market. India still has a very low penetration of fashion brands in India. We have less than 10% of the world brands available in India. As we go along, there would be more and more brands entering the market, and every brand would need tons of fashion designers and also fashion merchandisers coming through. Design interior itself is a very wide opportunity. It is not only just home, it has also about other infrastructure design. And India is having one of the best skills available and also big interest area for kids to do that. So that's really about the career opportunity. And now the question really is that at a corporate, would we participate in helping them to create those jobs so that we can bring more and more jobs?
Our associations create those jobs, already. If so, for example, today we are associated with various brands, in different categories. So we obviously want to groom our students and put them across to the dedicated, houses, fashion houses, design houses, that they get the right talent from us. And our practical based learning that we were saying, that is really, because this is an ever evolving industry. It's not a set course ki jo aaj humne bana diya aur wo chalta rahega. Every few months, every year, we need to update it, change it, so that it is relevant to the industry. And that's where, jaise interior design mein aap keh rahe the, it is not only restricted to houses today. Like more than us, you see it, you walk into like in Delhi, you walk into hoskas and look at the restaurants that you come across, like all different sorts of interiors and different sort of look and feel. So every space today wants to become more vibrant, more different, so that they attract more customers. So it is our opportunity to students is again interior design. So few of our students who are working with Gauri Khan today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a huge opportunity both in the interiors. You're not only just a residential but commercial, a lot of retail interiors, a lot of restaurants, a lot of other categories are happening. In design is part of your life and living, and India is still very low penetrated as far as if you look at mature market, look at London, look at Paris, look at France. So everywhere in the world, design is a very, very significant part of it. So Sonia, over to you for your set of questions. And also I will encourage friends, go out and Q&A box. This is a great opportunity we have handpicked and brought to you. And Franchiseindia is extremely proud to partner with London School of Design. So it's an opportunity for us to really take it to new markets. And that's what we're very keen to do that. And also, Sunny, I would like to know few markets which you think through where is no brainer, because students are coming from there or applications are coming through here to you, and you see you would really want to like to see a campus there. For me, like market like Chandigarh, like Surat, these are no brainer markets. These would do extremely well.
B towns are obviously more aspirational when it comes to the brand value, where people are more aspirational about from B towns, obviously to be associated in the international fashion school, to travel abroad, because there's a aspiration value is double than a town. So for someone that's living in Delhi or Bombay, we've seen great number of students from both set of places. So I wouldn't define it ki B towners hi hain. A town se bhi we're getting great numbers, especially Bombay. We get good number of students from Bombay attending our courses, and over the last 1.5 year of this entire online education experience, we've seen our courses are popular everywhere. So today, someone opening up our campus anywhere, they're not a new name. They're not. We already have students in that particular region. So you name it, any region, right from up north to down south, we have students. Towns which are really creative towns are, towards the western side are there. Then there's east. Northeast is a very great.
Very good market. North is a very good market. If you open up in Guwahati, it's a strong market. Siliguri is a strong market. Even cities like Bhubaneswar is become an educational capital now. Raipur is a great market. Indore has been now educational capital, a big feeder market. And so there is a huge opportunity, friends. If you are interested to partner, is a long-term and a very successful opportunity. I don't want to name it, where London School of Design was actually supporting one of the institutes, and they one time used to charge 1 crore as just franchise fees. 1 crore as a franchise fees alone, and then that's where, and the content was coming from them. So it's a huge opportunity to really partner. So, and please go out and share in the Q&A box which city you belong from, any experience you have in education, any experience in the space of training would be very helpful. And anybody who has a larger interest to partner, say somebody comes and say, I want to do Kerala, I want to make 5 centers in Kerala, and I would really like to do a full state, or I want to do West Bengal, I want to do 5 centers in Calcutta and other places, and I want to really take the control of the business. That also will be a great opportunity. While it's not a part of our current offering, but we can obviously discuss that, and I can personally discuss with you, and then take it the opportunity to Sunny for his evaluation. And if he approves, then we can look at some larger partner also.
I'll start picking, friends, some questions, and I do see them in the Q&A box. And I also, saw some of the hands being raised. So I will request that you put any questions that you might have in the Q&A box, and we'll pick these questions. And I do have some questions which I'll start with. And Sunny, you talked about India as a key market for a lot of MNCs, which are providing these opportunities for graduates in the design sector, and also because of your global, I would say, accreditation. You are ensuring that your graduates are also qualified to compete at the international stage. And so all that put together, when we offer a course in India, is there also a long-term course or a foundation course that we're offering, which will also give some exposure in the London market? I say 10 days, 15 days kind of a course.
Of course, there are blended learning opportunities. And see, we not only run, what we want to do is make it a complete ecosystem. So when we say we have fashion weeks twice a year, so February and September. So students studying at our campuses would have an opportunity to be part of those fashion weeks. As a 3 opportunities there: as a designer, obviously at a level when they start designing; as an intern, when they really want to see what happens behind the scenes, backstage; then third is as a visitor. So someone might say that year 1 may I want to go as a visitor to London, Again, we don't not only run London, we have New York, we have Milan, we have Paris. So someone might say, year one, I'll go to London, year two, I'll go to New York, or year three, I'll go to New York, year two, I'll go to Paris. So that is there. And again, what we also want to mold or blended learning kind of an opportunity where, because see, today online education is in a DNA of every child in India. School is doing it. 2-3 years down the line, it wasn't the case.
Right.
Now it is in DNA of every child. So school is happening. So we want to give students studying at our campuses blended learning experience where some lectures are done online from tutors from our campus over here, some locally supported over there. Then they come for their specialization, like last 1 month to London or last 6 months to London. So all that can be modeled because we will be working very closely in making it successful. So we have the I would say we would adapt what is required. That we would say that, okay, 1 month, 6 months, whatever, we can module things accordingly, and launch them. It could also be that we run a 3-year program, that 2 years in India, 1 year in London,
Right. Right.
to make it more financially viable. 2.5 years in India, 6 months in London, the entire package for an X amount.
Correct. And
With
accordingly, the fee would vary.
exactly.
Right. That's helpful. And Sunny, my next question would be, and I saw one of our, I would say, participants also asking this. So while we talked about his initial investment and the breakup of the same, would you also want to give some understanding on the typical expenses for a center, which would mean the faculty, which is very important part. Rental is obviously depending on the structure and the infrastructure that we have and the courses that we offer, and which you also mentioned over a period of time it should be able to maybe stretch because your capacities would increase. But if we talk maybe as a thumb rule, typically what are the expenses that go in the center? What percentage ideally should go to the faculty? What to the rent, and what are the other expenses, including the royalty or the sharing of commission that happens between you and the prospective partners?
Yeah, our royalty comes on top of the center fees. So that doesn't really go out of the center's revenue. So, for example, if a center is charging 30,000 rupees for a short course, then our 20% will be on top of it as the fees coming to LST. So 30, they would charge a student 36,000. And obviously, our fees paid to us is non-GST because it's an international transaction. So
Right.
the center would only charge GST on the fees that they are charging. So the GST will be only charged on the 30,000 that they are charging. So that's how that. So that is just a brief example. Obviously, fees will differ from city to city, course to course, and there's a huge
Correct.
range of courses
Yeah.
which every course would have a
Yeah.
different fee. But if you look at it overall, your breakdown. So just you need certain staff to run all the programs. Most of the staff comes freelance for certain courses. You if you are if you can manage that well, and which we will help you manage that well, there's tutors who would travel as a freelance subject. And as we are saying that online has become a blended learning kind of an experience, so major aspects that we feel that we can't find an appropriate tutor, for example, in Raipur for this area. So that can be covered by our tutors. We can arrange people within the country to go and do guest lectures and so on. So there is a certain kind of tutors. So it's you would need some permanent faculty, but majority of the faculty for short courses and all of that will come on a freelance arrangement.
All right. And what is this permanent faculty? What are the positions of these people? And
So
also
you would
because,
obviously need heads of departments. You would need heads of departments of all three departments that you would be running: fashion, interior design, and beauty. You would need all heads of these departments and at least one assistant under them, one person, because as I said, our learning will be very practical. So we will have a lot of equipment within the campus.
campus
So it will
itself.
be more like a mini factory. So you need a couple of people who understand equipment, who can run the equipment and demonstrate the equipment and help the students work through it. You would obviously need counseling members. When you want to recruit students, you will need a few counselors, few telecallers. So again, depending on your location and your size of the institution that you set up, you would, for example, if you set up ideally a 5,000 square feet campus in Raipur, to name a city, a B town. Uh, so you would at least need 10 to 11 members to run that campus efficiently to start with. As the numbers grow, you will need more and more people, because you understand it's a service based model. So you need people. We don't want students to be unattended or left unattended, because it affects your reputation and our reputation mainly.
Correct. That's right. And I will also, pick some questions while some of these have been answered in our conversation. So again, staying on the faculty, which is recruitment is one part of it. So I do see a question from Mahesh, who's asking any assistance which is given by the company in terms of recruitment of the faculty. And most important is the training of the faculty, how long that training happens, and equally
So,
training of your partner. These are relationships which are long term. So is there a specific profile of people you need, and what kind of training is given
so
to the
how
faculty and to the partner?
we would like to work in that manner is that we suggest that you shortlist the candidates, and then our academic directors, academic team will interview, help you interview and select the appropriate faculty, and then obviously train them further
Mhm.
to deliver. Because see, the main component of our business is the education quality, and that's what we would not want to tarnish that in any way. So we will be more concerned than the center of how the courses are delivered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we also saw in your presentation, we talked about, I think, your affiliation with Manish Malhotra. He's a name which is synonymous with designing
I
in
would
India.
not bring that in now. That is, that was there to show it, because we've been running a lot of collaborations, as Gaurav mentioned, that we've been running a lot of collaborations across the country for, various
Mhm.
years. And we've done such collaborations with, you name the designer that has been associated with us in some or the other manner. So we also spoke about Rocky or Manish or everybody. Like everybody has associated with us. We also run a specific online course, delivered by Manish Malhotra, teaching fashion. But I don't want to mention it here, because it is not yet part of the
The
equation
program
that
that
we're
we want to
discussing. It is
offer.
in a different arrangement with our already partners that we've been working with. So I don't want to bring that in over here. It is something that we've so that just shows our ability. And so it is like Giorgio Armani of India are teaching fashion design. So we had Manish Malhotra teach fashion design.
The question which I'm seeing, because while there are other players also who've been in the Indian market, and many of these players don't give you courses which are recognized globally, and you're doing that. But any other competitive edge that you want to talk about that you have over the other companies which are present? Because I'm seeing some companies like ILLM, INSD. These are some companies operating out of India. So I do see a question, how competitive we are with these names.
So our main, as I said, credit based. Today, nobody in India, no fashion institution is providing a credit. So anybody doing a 1 year course for us, for example, if we start giving them 120 credits, it carries some value. When they go out, it has 120 credits to it, and from us. So that nobody is doing it, and nobody is yet equipped, even because the education policy was just launched, and they say that it'll be coming in play over a period of time. However, we've been doing this for the last 2 3 years, so we are very well equipped and ahead of the game.
So I think that's very, very helpful. And the last question, which I would want to pick up, we did talk about the markets, but we've been talking about blended learning. And a lot of these courses might only be, online courses to start off with, and gradually, they come into a physical campus class. So how do we treat that in terms of the fee structure? Would that vary is one of the question. And the second would also be, because when a campus receives an inquiry from a student, a lot of these students, like you said, they're about I think 8,000 students which go globally every year to take international courses in design. So a lot of these institutes that open in India would also have aspirational students who want to go abroad and maybe look at LST not from studying in India, but maybe taking admissions there. So will franchisee have any role to play in such
Of course.
admissions also or not?
Of course. So study abroad, which will be part of the equation. So see, when we are setting up our center in XYZ, any location, they will obviously be part of the entire feed. So whether the student is studying with them, whether it's an online course delivered in their location, whether a student from their location coming to London or going anywhere else with portfolio preparation or a credit based course. So the entire offering, because they become our face in that territory. So entire offering to do with us becomes part of the equation.
Sure. I think that's very important point, which means that you have various revenue sources from the student, which is once acquired by a franchisee. Great, that's very helpful. I like. Is there any recognized body which endorse the courses from government run by you? I don't understand, Mahesh, the question. Uh,
So it's saying that
We
government.
are we are
someone-
recognized by the UK government, UK RLP. Our credits for the UK come from the Scottish regulatory body, and SQA, then UK RLP, and we are a registered institution accredited by the British Accreditation Council, and that's where our credits become valid when a student decides to take a lateral entry. So our credits, when a student, for example, studies with your center where when you open up in India, and then decides to go to Australia or Canada or come to UK, wherever, it is on the university, but they will see how to accommodate those credits. Some might just say that, okay, you've learned these subjects, we'll eliminate these subjects from your further studies that you'll be doing with us. Some might say, okay, ours is a 400 credit course, we will remove these 120 credits. So again, it's a discretion of the individual university. I don't want to sit here and say that, okay, Australia mein aise hoga, Canada mein aise hoga. It is an individual university discretion, but our edge over everyone else is that they will have a valid certificate to go there and take an admission rather than having just a certificate.
Hmm. Absolutely. Very important. And friends, we have received these inquiries, and I will also request all of you, if there's any specific city that you're from and you are keen, you may also write on the hotline number that we'll put in the chat box along with our email ID. You can reach out to us. And Mr. Sunny Somra is based out of London, so there might be, a little bit of time clash, but we'll try to do a discovery day in the coming week, and we'll take a time and a date which is available for a one-to-one interaction, which can happen over a Zoom call, where maybe a detailed discussion on the prospect, potential, your profile, interest, and the courses and the structure format that you want to take can also be discussed at length. And before we also close, I will request you for your closing remarks, any message that you have for the entire audience listening live and also on the webinar.
Thank you so much, for everyone for joining us today. And I believe that there's a great opportunity here, and that's why after 8 years of collaborating in India, we've thought now that, okay, now is the time for us to open our campuses. So we've worked with top institutions in India. As Gaurav said, that we don't want to bring the names in here, but top institutions have worked with us closely and till date work with us. So it's not something that we are what we are doing is we are progressing our own business, we are taking a next step forward, and that's it really.
Thank you, Sunny, and it's a great opportunity. We strongly believe it took us 5 months to convince Sunny that this is the time he needs to be uh, coming himself rather than just supporting other institutions in the market. It's a strong brand, very good proposition, great opportunity for India, and we are very excited at Franchiseindia to partner with you to make a great vision for the brand in India, and also find the right quality partners. It's all about really quality partners who can align with the same vision what you have. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you.
in.
Thank you. Thanks for your time,
Thank
Gaurav,
you.
Sonia.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Archana.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ashna, over to you.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Sunny, for sparing time today on this beautiful morning for you and afternoon for us.
Yes.
But thank you so much for all your efforts. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir, for joining us today. Dear friends, thank you so much for joining this particular webinar. Do reach out to us at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. We have shared this number in your chat box. You can take a snap of it. Also, now you can connect with us at our different social handles. We are available at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as LinkedIn. We have created the entire video library for all of you to revisit all the previously done webinar. You can join us at the Facebook page of Franchiseindia Brands Limited. Go under video section. Your valuable suggestion and feedback will help us in improving process. You wish to connect with Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am to get more understanding about the market, about franchise options. You can connect with both of them at their respective LinkedIn IDs, information on your screen. And today we wish you to join us for our Bharat Franchise Show, which will start at 7 p.m. in the evening. Today we are inviting you for East India Show. We have invited top brands for you, where the brand's representative, founders, director would come and talk to you digitally, present their business idea so that you get the understanding about their financial model. Do registration either at a business hotline number or at the Facebook page where we have shared the link with you. Look forward to have you in this particular webinar. And tomorrow under 12 p.m. webinar, we are launching Burger Singh. That's the best burger chain in India. You can start this particular business in 2 of the model with the investment of 22 lakh rupees. The entire team would come, founders would come and talk about their business model. So do registration for our Bharat Franchise Show as well as 12 p.m. webinar show. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Have a very safe day ahead. Stay safe, stay happy. Thank you so much.